Hey guys, how's it going? It's Corey and Preston with another Boom Fantasy slate. Um, how you feeling about today's slate, Preston?
This one's a tough one. There's not a whole lot of great names out there, but for Boom, where you don't have a salary cap or anything, not like DraftKings or FanDuel. I think this will be a lot nicer to break down than those sites where you gotta pick and choose guys tonight. So should be a
Yeah,
fun one.
I'm excited to play this one. The other sides aren't looking too pretty, like you said. And so we'll just jump right into it. In points with Joel Embiid, Kemba Walker, Goran Dragic, and Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Do you have a clear-cut favorite?
The two guys I'm looking at here, Embiid and Kemba, it's a little tough to distinguish a favorite between those two, but they're guys that handle a majority of the usage on their team. Dragic and Hollis Jefferson just don't have the ball in their hands as much. They're not as prime pieces in the offense. They're only scoring. You can see by the points per game. They're only scoring 14 and 17 a game. I think it's pretty easy to look at only Embiid and Kemba here. This one's interesting because uh, Kemba's playing Brooklyn. They're at home, so he should play better. His splits are very drastic home and away, and so he gets a home game tonight versus Brooklyn. It's a great matchup, but the only fear is if the game gets a little out of hand. But I don't see Charlotte just destroying Brooklyn tonight. I think he'll get a normal allotment of minutes. And then on the other side, you got Joel Embiid. This matchup's always fun to kind of just monitor a little bit. Him and Hassan Whiteside have a little bit of beef. They a few games ago got into it together, and it was fun to watch on Twitter and watch them kind of get mad at each other. But the last game was a bit of a disappointment. Embiid didn't have as great of a game, but Whiteside played really well. So I think this one will be interesting. I think Charlotte, if the game doesn't get too out of hand in Charlotte, which I don't think it will, I think Kemba's probably my pick here. Whiteside's a solid defender, and the Philly Miami game should be a little slower than the Brooklyn game. So I think I'm going Kemba here if I pick one of those guys.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think the narrative with Joel Embiid and Whiteside's kind of interesting. But I kind of like Kemba here as well. We have Hollis Jefferson projected very low points, about 12, and we have Dragic around 17. So then we got our two studs in Embiid and Kemba. And yeah, I mean, just a team that's not great against the point guard. You got a pretty fast-paced game against a player who loves playing at home. I think he's my favorite here. I think Kemba has a big night. And then for the rebounds category, we have Dwight Howard, Hassan Whiteside, Dario Saric, and Damari Carroll. For me, it's Howard and move on. What about you?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I really like this matchup with Brooklyn. The Nets are horrible against centers. Their defensive rebounding efficiency is very low. So I think Howard has a big night tonight. I remember a few weeks ago we made his rebound prop DFIU bet, and he ended up with 24 rebounds. He just had a massive day. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of the same here. You got, other than him, it's Whiteside who gets a tough matchup with Embiid, so I don't think he'll grab 15 to 20 tonight. And then Sarge and Carroll just aren't huge rebound guys, anyways, so I think we can probably rule them out. I'm totally with you here, though. I like Howard a lot.
Yeah, just clear cut favorite. I was gonna mention what you just mentioned about the bet there, and I'll take anyone against Brooklyn really.
Hmm.
So then in this category we have Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie, Nick Batum, and James Johnson. Batum's always interesting to see on here. because he's been racking up the assists, and we have him projected for around 7 tonight. So he can definitely be considered. And Dinwiddie and Simmons, yeah, don't take James Johnson. Just definitely don't. But Dinwiddie and Simmons are pretty close in our projections. Did you find anything in research that made you like one more than the other?
No, this one's tough. Miami's pretty good versus point guards. They limit the fantasy scoring, so I wouldn't expect Simmons to have a huge day, especially with the low game total. But he can always go out there and get you 10 assists or so. Dinwiddie, his minutes are down a little bit, and he's still playing upper 20s though. But his role in the offense has just decreased a little bit since they finally have all their guys healthy. I believe. I don't think they have anybody sitting tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So the team, the rotation's just getting a little bigger. Um, so that one's interesting. Like you said, Batum, his assists have been up. He's been playing a lot better as of late. He's getting plenty of minutes and gets the good matchup with Brooklyn. This one's really tough between those three guys, though. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, yeah, it really is tough. You make a good point about Brooklyn being healthy, and I watched their game against Golden State last time out, and they actually had a lineup out there that had Dinwiddie, Russell, Carroll, Crab, and Levert all out there. So I mean, they went extremely small. They want to play their stars as much as they can. Um, I think I want to go Simmons here. I mean, if Embiid's getting the best of Whiteside in there, I'm hoping Simmons is feeding him.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think Brooklyn's a little hard to project right now. Um, I see Batum's upside as well, but I mean, Simmons has got a triple double against Miami. I think he can do it again. But this one's really tough. But Simmons would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, I think you could multi-enter here if you wanted, with us liking Kemba and Howard for the points and rebounds. But I think I'd go a little heavier on Simmons if I were to multi-enter. But yeah, for just a single bullet, I think Simmons is probably the move here.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Preston. And then for producing points, we have Kemba Walker. Um, I like that Magic number 27 tonight. Brooklyn, not a great defense. They allow a lot of points to the point guard. Kemba's at home. He might even get. I could see him maybe even get in the 30s, but I don't. I kind of like maybe 26 to 30 range multi-entry purposes. What about you?
Yeah, I was looking at around 28. So I'm right there with you. I think, like we've said, the matchup is great tonight versus Brooklyn. The game should be faster than Charlotte's used to, at least. With everybody that plays Brooklyn, they're always getting a pace up matchup. I think he, other than his one phantom 5 point game the other night, he's been scoring that upper 20s, and he's hit 31 twice in the past 5 games. So I like that
Yeah.
27 to 31, 26 to 30 range. I like that range a lot.
Yeah. And then we'll stick on the subject of points with the triple lightning. And first we have Goran Dragic, and I kind of like this plus minus category here because he always seems to get around his average at 17, and I honestly just want to leave it here at 17. He's like one of the most consistent players when the Heat are healthy doing that. So I kind of like 17. That gets me to 16 or 18 too, with the plus minus one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm looking at 16 or 17 would be my pick there. Yeah, it's uh, game should be slower paced. And Philly's pretty good defensively versus point guards. with Simmons guarding point guards pretty often, and even moving down to Redick. But yeah, I think that 16 to 17 range is pretty solid. Like you said, he's so consistent. It seems like he's always going out there putting up between 15 and 20 like every game. So I like that 16 to 17 range for
Yeah.
your entry there.
Interestingly enough, for Joel Embiid too, I like him to get right around his average as well. I see 24 when I first go to his screen, and I don't really want to touch that either. I think this is a tougher matchup. I don't see him exploding. The pace will be slowed down a little bit. But for the minutes he gets, I think 24 is a pretty good number here. What about you?
Yeah, I'm right there. He's been very consistent as well the last week or two. He's been putting up right around 20 points per game, and before that he was going off for 25 to 30 a game. I like that 23-ish range as well. I think going 23, 24 is spot on for him.
Yeah. And the late slate tonight is a little more difficult. We have some bigger names. And for points, we have Devin Booker, Russell Westbrook, and Karl Anthony Towns. And we love all three of these guys tonight. We think they're all in good spots. Um, I mean, Westbrook, I think he put up, what, 43 against the Suns last time they played?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you go against that. I think Devin Booker put up 39 too. And we had these two on the slate last time in the same position. I went Booker. Westbrook got 43, outscored by 4. Um, but I mean, Westbrook against Alfred Payton just kind of in Oklahoma City, it just kind of screams go Westbrook here. So, I mean, if I do multi-enter for this late contest, I'll probably go 3 entries of Westbrook and 2 entries of Booker. But if I'm single entering, I want Westbrook.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Westbrook gets the edge for me here. He's been shooting the ball really well. He's had 30 plus in 4 straight.
Well,
And he
okay.
had 43 versus Phoenix 3 games ago. So he's putting up 25 to 30 shots a game, just massive usage like he always has. Booker, he can always go off for 40 or 50, but I think I think Westbrook's the pick for me here as well. The matchup is just so much better than average for the Thunder, and it's a little bit down for the Suns. So I'm liking Westbrook here a lot as well.
That's great to hear. And then for rebounds, we have Tyson Chandler, Steven Adams, Al Horford, and Taj Gibson. Um, Tyson Chandler and Steven Adams are going to be going at it against each other in the same game, and so are Gibson and Horford. Um, Tyson Chandler won't really see the minutes we need him for him to win this category, and it's kind of interesting to me that he's the favorite. I mean, his average for the season is a little skewed based on how the kind of minutes he was playing in the beginning of the season. For me here, it's Steven Adams. Suns are one of the worst teams in the league against the center. I could definitely see Steven Adams getting a double-double, and Horford's always around that 6, 7, 8 area, and Taj Gibson, nothing really just screams that he's going to get rebounds to me. What about you? Are you all in Steven Adams?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Tyson Chandler just he'll play 20 to 22 minutes a game, and the upside's just really not there for him. And like you said, Steven Adams gets the dream matchup with Phoenix. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for 12, 14 rebounds tonight. Just has a big night versus them. And then yeah, with Al Horford and Taj Gibson, he's a great big man, but he doesn't get double doubles a whole lot. He hovers right around that 7 rebound per game average, and that's about where we predict him as well tonight versus Minnesota. We think we have Towns projected for 15 rebounds or something like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's a tough rebounding matchup for Horford, and then Gibson's just not a big rebound guy either. So I think this is a pretty clear-cut move with Adams here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm going all Adams there. And then for assists, we have Jeff Teague, Alfred Payton, Marcus Smart, and Paul George. Do you know if Kyrie Irving's playing today?
I believe he should. Yep.
Okay, so
He,
that'll rule out Marcus Smart for us.
yeah.
In that scenario. And pretty much Paul George. I mean, he would have to have a big game to out assist Jeff Teague and Alfred Payton. Um, I kind of like Payton in this fast paced matchup more than I like Teague against the sound defensive Boston team. We have him projected pretty close, but I think I like Payton here. He had a really good game against OKC last time too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he had a triple double last time.
Wow, yeah.
He played really well. It might have been. No, he had 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. But
Okay.
yeah, his assist numbers have been looking good with Phoenix lately. He had a 14 assist game the other night versus Atlanta. Um, and like you said, I think this game will be much faster paced than the Boston Minnesota game. And with Smart, he just doesn't have the assist upside. And Paul George, you can see he averages 3.3 games, so it's just not there for those two guys. I'm all in on Elfrid Payton here as well.
Yeah. And then for points, Devin Booker, we got a tough one here. We said he got 39 against Oklahoma City last time out.
He did.
We picked Russell Westbrook for points, so we might not want to overproject Devin Booker for points. Man, I'm kind of thinking that 26 to 30 range. I see the upside. He's very, some nights his shot is on and he puts up 40. Some nights it's off and he doesn't. The fact that he's on the road might change something tonight. Could be more likely for a blowout, even though Oklahoma City doesn't really blow out teams for some reason. What's your projection tonight?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was looking at 24 to 28 or 25 to 29, something like that, right around that mid to upper 20s range as well. I think you nailed it, saying the blowout chance is much higher with the game at Oklahoma City. Phoenix is just not having a great year, and though Oklahoma City has trouble blowing people out, it's I think I'm pretty sure they're much better defensively at home also. So yeah, I think especially with taking Westbrook for the points category here, I think going that upper 20s range, focusing around 27, 26 points tonight is good for single entry, and then just structuring right around that for multi-entry.
Yeah, sounds like we're on the same page there. But that'll do it for this boom slate. We wish you guys luck. Hope you do well. Preston's going to head over to the DFIU War Room, and we'll get those must-haves posted up for you guys shortly who are on the other sites. And that's all we have today. So good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.